For any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check out g2a.com, and if you need any Ultimate Team coins, then head over to FIFA. The code CHES will get you a discount on both sites, and all links are down below. Hey guys, how's it going? Chez back again, and welcome to episode number 8 of the Career Mode Road to Glory on FIFA 15. We start today with a home game against Southend United. Not going to be an easy one by any stretch. Southend are one of the best sides in the division on their day, and we are actually starting with a bit of a rotation side. Obviously, at the end of yesterday's episode, we had a full-length 120-minute extra time and penalty shootout game against Everton in the Capital One Cup, and rather understandably, I started my best side in that one, so they were pretty tired, it has to be said, by the time we got around to the weekend games. So a few rotations were made, but they actually have a very strong side. Miles Weston on the left hand side is particularly fast, and they're playing the 4-2-3-1 formation that we struggled with against Oxford, if you remember from the episode before last, I think it was. So we definitely know that we're going to be up against it today, and they started off on the front foot, as you can see, having a decent shot from distance, having a pop from about 30-40 yards or so, but we were going to have a few chances of our own in the opening stages. Robbie Simpson linking up with Ryan Bird, his strike partner for the day, breaks past the defence well, but the finish is left a little bit wanting. Definitely not the most accurate shot Ryan Bird has ever had in his entire life, and we'll have to hope that he is a little bit better than that when it comes to his next shot, and he's not going to be too far away before we have the team's second chance. This time Robbie Simpson going for the near post rather than the far, although again unfortunately not accurate enough, hitting the side netting rather than forcing the goalkeeper into a save. So we're into the second half, and Atkinson is on the ball here for Southend. They work it about really nicely. Coolhurst whips it towards the back post, brought down well by Weston, who's now on the opposite flank, and to be fair, really good, powerful finish into that near post. That's kind of what I wanted to do with Robbie Simpson in the first half. It didn't work for me, but it really did work for them. So made a couple of changes. Tom Champion and Ryan Bird going off, with Jaden Stockley and Luke Chadwick, I think it was, I brought in the centre of midfield just to try and freshen things up to get us back in the game. But in stoppage time, they made it 2. The first shot was well blocked, but unfortunately for me, it fell straight to another Southend opponent, and they powered it into the back of the net to make it 2-0, and that is how the game ended. So unfortunately, our second defeat of the league season to date, but we're still having a decent year so far, so I wasn't going to let it affect me as we headed into the next game against Exeter. Now, Exeter are one of the weaker sides in the division, to be completely honest, and we were still away from home, so it wasn't going to be an easy game, but I was more confident in this one than I was in the previous one against Southend, especially now that I was going to be able to bring back a few more of my first team players. They're playing a narrow 4-1-2-1-2, so obviously my aim was going to be to try and get the ball out wide and whip the crosses and try and utilise the flanks, so to speak. And we are starting a much stronger side now, as you'll be able to see. We've got Tom Elliott back up top alongside Robbie Simpson. Kwesi Appiah still unfortunately out injured for the time being. Harrison Dunk out wide on the left. Ryan Donaldson on the right with Tom Champion, and our new star Rico Ring in the middle, the guy that we picked up as a free agent earlier on in the season. And we're starting on the front foot in the opening 2 or 3 minutes, similar to how Southend did in the previous game, but Dunk's going to whip in the cross. Tom Elliott goes up and it's going to go wide. Now that kind of set the tone for the rest of the game. I knew that tactic was going to be effective, so I tried to, like I say, utilise the flanks and make sure that we used that tactic as best we could. Donaldson here, though, choosing to go on the floor rather than through the air, and it works just as well, firing it into the path of Tom Elliott, who tucks it really nicely underneath the goalkeeper into the back of the net to give us an early 1-0 lead in just the 10th minute. Keeper so very nearly got there, though. It was extremely close. You can see there he's going down to pick it up, but Tom Elliott just gets a big curly toe to it, tucks it underneath him, and it's 1-0. We have a corner in the 16th minute, and we make it 2-0. A powerful header from Michael Nelson. His stats are starting to drop a little bit, unfortunately, considering he's now 34 years of age, but he is still my first team centre-back and still clearly offering his services at both ends of the pitch. So pleased to be 2-0 up this early in the game, and it really did give me, lifted the weight off my shoulders. After a defeat in the previous game, it really felt nice to actually dominate a game like this. As you can see, having another chance in the opening 20 minutes, we could have been 4-0 up by that point alone. We're now at stoppage time at the end of the first half. A good cross by their man towards the back post, and Nichols unfortunately tried to kind of arc that back over the goalkeeper into the far bottom corner. It didn't quite work for him, fortunately for me, so we went into the second half with the lead at 2-0, but just as they had a chance at the end of the first. They were going to have a chance at the start of the second, although this time hitting the side netting again, not quite able to find the target. Having the same sort of luck that I did in the previous game, so it's kind of roles reversed for us. But Tom Elliott's going to play it out wide to Ryan Donaldson here, and he's going to get a good turn in, nice little fake shot before having the actual shot, although unfortunately again a little bit wide of the target. But we're still creating chances, and it would be nice to extend the lead if we possibly could, because considering we got the 2-0 defeat in the previous game, so this kind of nullifies that. But if we could increase our goal difference here, that would be the main aim. And I was trying to play the ball across there to Ryan Donaldson again, and there was a collision off the ball involving Tom Elliott. Now I didn't see it first time around, and I wasn't sure why a penalty had been given, but you'll see from the replay that he does get his feet taken away from him, Tom Elliott, by Ribeiro, the defender. Just clips his right ankle, which kind of knocks it onto his left, and that wipes out his legs from underneath him. So Robbie Simpson's going to be the man to step up to take the penalty. He did have a quick check to see if there was anyone else better suited to take penalties, but 62 is the highest rating in the starting 11, and another top quality penalty from Robbie Simpson. He scored one in the shootout against Everton yesterday, and doing the same again here against Exeter. So that's 3-0, and our goal difference offset has been improved since that unfortunate defeat against Southend, and actually we're going to improve it even further. A really good 1-2 between Elliott and Simpson ends up with a powerful left-footed strike into the far top corner. Really is quite impressive actually. Take that first time on your weak foot right into the top left-hand corner. Delighted with that finish and pleased to be 4-0 up. But there's still 15 minutes left to go. We could still concede, we could still score more. The referee getting inadvertently involved there as the ball rebounds off him and actually sets them up for a decent chance. But again, Reed can't keep it down or keep it on target, and unfortunately for them, they lose that effort. And then I don't know what I was doing there, trying to pass the ball about the back. Didn't realise there was two strikers still in behind my defensive line. Give the ball away, but we get a stroke of luck. They hit the post, and we do get the 4-0 win. So our goal difference has improved by 2, despite losing the earlier game against Southend. I was particularly pleased with that 4-0 win, to be completely honest, and it was exactly what I needed to raise my morale and the players' morale after our second defeat, especially at home against Southend as well. And we get another home game this time around against AFC Wimbledon. Now, one thing that really annoys me, you will have noticed in the first episode, I set up the ground and changed the name to the Abbey, which is, you know, the name of Cambridge United Stadium, but it still says Town Park when you go into the game like that, so it kind of defeats the object, surely, of changing the name of the ground on the setup screen. That's just one tiny little thing that just annoys me OCD wise, but still, we're playing against AFC Wimbledon, who have a very, very good striker up top in the shape of Matthew Tubbs. He's of course a player that used to play at Salisbury in non-league and got a move to Bournemouth, I think it was, and he also played for Crawley as well in his time in the Football League, and now finds himself at Wimbledon. Now obviously, as a Cambridge United fan, I am fully aware of the threat that he poses thanks to his time at Salisbury, and he did score a couple of goals against Cambridge whilst he was there, but fortunately in the opening few minutes he didn't quite find his range, as you saw there, left-footed shot going well over the bar, and actually Tom Elliott was going to get a chance here. Nice turn to get around the man, although not quite able to find the top corner the same way he did with the fourth one against Exeter. But we're still growing with a spell of pressure of our own. Jaden Stockley plays him in again here, Tom Elliott, trying to use the run of Diallo there as a decoy. Doesn't quite work, so I have to try and work it back to Stockley. Good first touch, good turn, but then I think well, I don't know whether that's a penalty or not. Has there been contact there? Did he swing and miss genuinely, or was there a nudge on him and that's actually a penalty? I'm not too sure. You'll have to let me know what your opinions are in the comment section down below. But we're going to try and have another chance through Stockley, and he draws a good save out of Warner, the goalkeeper. So we're still continuing to push forward, kind of in the same vein that we were in the Exeter game, having plenty of chances, hoping to replicate that 4-0 scoreline if we possibly could. But Wimbledon were proving that they could definitely create some chances at the other end as well. And it was only poor finishing again from them that left the scoreline at 0-0. So we could have had 3 or 4 goals for either side so far in this one. So we headed into the second half still at 0-0. Bournemouth's going to play in Tubbs. Nice little ball around the corner to Gray, who draws a good save out of Chris Dunn there. We needed him to be on form. Hasn't had too much to do with most of their chances and most of Exeter's chances being off target. Has been a little bit underworked in the past couple of games. But they made a change here, bringing on Akin Fenwer. The man is on the pitch. Is he going to be able to change the game for them? I was kind of relieved to see the back of Matt Tubbs, but also a bit apprehensive about seeing Akinfenwa on the pitch. You can see him using his strength there to work the opportunity, but again, luckily for me, Chris Dunn was down well to make a really good smart save. And we're on the attack at the other end this time. Matty Blair's going to try and stand it up towards the back post. Doesn't quite come off, but they can only clear it as far as Jack Grealish. Gets past one, gets past two, question of a foul, nothing given, gets past three, then gets crumbled to the floor, and again the referee waves away my penalty shouts. That's twice in this game we could have had a penalty to give ourselves the lead, but with 5 minutes to go it's still 0-0 and we've had nothing given to us. But Stockley's going to play in Chadwick here, who wins the ball off the defender, and finally the luck goes our way. We get two penalty decisions that, as far as I'm concerned, were clear-cut penalties not given, and then we get a lucky deflection. Not only does the defender actually win that ball initially, actually deflects off a second defender with a shot from Luke Chadwick that takes it past the goalkeeper into the back of the net to give us a 1-0 lead with just a matter of minutes remaining. Akinfenwa, though, was going to have one more chance before the game was out, but luckily for me it went over the top of the bar and we were able to come away with all 3 points for this second game in a row. So to say we lost the first game, I was really pleased with the way that we bounced back to still get 6 points from this episode, and that is going to be the way that we're going to try and run this series from now on in. We're of course up to 3 games an episode now that we're outside of the transfer window, so the episodes will increase in length, which a few of you have been asking for, and hopefully we can at least maintain the same level of form as we have done so far, sitting in third after 8 games, and hopefully we can stay at least there for the rest of the season. Of course, top 3 get automatic promotion, and then there are 4 playoff spots from 4th down to 7th, and that is the main aim. I want to finish at least 7th so far this year, so we've started in the right vein and I want to continue that for the rest of the season. But that is going to bring today's episode to a close. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Feel free to leave the video a like if you enjoyed. That would be absolutely superb, and of course feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're closing in on 37,000 subscribers as I record this, so if we could hit that over the next couple of days, that would be absolutely amazing. And of course you guys have been showing fantastic support on all of the series so far this year on FIFA 15, whether it's this series, the My Player, the Atleti, which has of course been replaced by this series, or the Chelsea career mode. So check the channel page if there's anything you've missed. Feel free to follow me on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook if there is anything you want to talk to me about on social media. I'm always available, especially on Twitter, so that's mainly the place to find me. But for now, that will bring all of your Sunday entertainment to a close. Check the channel page for anything you may have missed. Drop the video a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you next time.